Hey everyone, welcome to your week 3 instructional launch for U.S. history in the SLP. The first thing I want to do is just go over kind of your progress of where we are as a class within the focus areas and within the project, just so you can kind of see, because we are individual learners at home, you might not be able to know exactly where your classmates are if you're behind. So I want to point out, where everybody is so you can get a better idea. So for the first focus area of the Revolutionary America focus area, 4 out of 9 of you have completed the focus area, which is great. So you should have at least started to attempt this, remembering to go into the focus area, take the diagnostic assessment, and then once you see what areas you need help with that you did not know, then you go back down through the playlist and you watch different videos or read articles or look at the slideshows to help you better learn the material. So this is not, the SLP is not designed to just see how much information you can rush through in a couple weeks at the end of the year. We want to pace you. We want you to learn is the ultimate outcome. So when you're a virtual learner, it's up to you to do the learning too. So that's what the playlist is for. That's where you should be learning the bulk of the information for your course, and then you apply it in those projects. So it's very important that you try to work on the focus area that you've been assigned before you work on the project. It's okay to work on them together, but the material that you learn in that focus area is going to help you better understand the project. For the Mythbusters project, this is something that you'll want to continue to work on. I don't believe the whole thing is due till the middle of October, so there is time. But again, you don't want to let it go till the very end. So try to do the checkpoints. So checkpoint 1 is I technically have due tomorrow. 3 out of 9 of you have completed that. So try to get working in the course. Try to start submitting the checkpoints. And going back and watching these videos should help you. Checkpoint 2, 2 of 9 of you have started, and that is due on September 26th. And checkpoint 3, 1 person has started that, and that is due October 3rd. So again, if you have not completed it, it's okay. Checkpoint 1 is due tomorrow. I just want to try to keep you on pace. So it's okay if it's not completed tomorrow. It's not going to shut down. You will have more time to work on it, but I don't want to see you letting it go too much longer than that, or it's going to be hard to get the project done by the end date. All right, so within the course, I want to show you real quick where we should be at. So within the course, for the American History Mythbusters project, you can see these cognitive skills here. So in the SLP, it's different from a lot of things you've done in the past. We're focusing more on these cognitive skills. We want you to know how to do these things because it'll help you in all of your other courses. It will help you in the long run for the rest of your life. So rather than just learning a bunch of content and dates and things like that, we want you to learn these basic skills that can actually be helpful for the rest of your life. So, for example, for the source analysis paragraphs, if you click on the actual assignment and you go down to the bottom, there's going to be a rubric on all of these. So you need a 3 to pass this. So in order to pass, you need to make sure, for point of view, that you reach all of these things. To do better than that, to get a 4, you would add in a certain part, and then to get a 5. So it kind of builds on each other, and it shows you exactly what you would need to do to get the best possible grade. So today we're going to focus on contextualizing sources. So this is a big part of this project, and some of you, I think, are struggling a little bit. We did focus on point of view and purpose last week, and I think that has been helpful, and a lot of people seem much more knowledgeable about that now. So we're going to focus on contextualizing sources this week and kind of looking at what that means. So I'm going to go back in here, and I know you guys see a video and you're all annoyed. You'll sit there and watch 13 consecutive hours of a Netflix show, but God forbid a 5-minute educational video. So it's short and it's informative, and it has to do with the SLP, so just pay attention.
What's up, guys? In this video, we are looking at the domain of using sources and the skill of contextualizing sources. Contextualizing sources is recognizing how a source is situated within the world of its origin and explaining how the meaning of the source is shaped by those conditions. Take a second, pause the video, and familiarize yourself with your particular level.
So why is contextualizing sources important? It's important because it helps us understand the creation of a source and how its time, its setting, its author affects the meaning of the information in that source. It also helps us understand how the meaning of a source can change over time.
So let's look at the 3 levels of adding context to a source. If we look at level 3, we need to figure out when and where the source was produced. For level 4, we need to consider what was happening when the source was produced, scientifically, politically, economically, and socially. And then finally, level 5, we need to start comparing what was different then, what was the same, and how might the circumstances in which the document was created affect its content. That's really the last question, and that's really the meat of adding context to a source.
So let's take a look at an example of a primary source and try to put it in context. In 1494, Christopher Columbus had already sailed to the New World. He had been commissioned by the King and Queen of Spain to go on this voyage, and the hope was that he could claim new land and also discover gold and riches to be sent back to Spain. And so in 1494, he writes this letter to the King and the Queen of Spain describing what he's found, what he's discovered so far, and why it's good for the kingdom. Then if we take that particular source and apply it to our different levels, here's what it would look like. For level 3, it's the most basic form of context. When and where was the source produced? In this case, it's 1494 on the island of Hispaniola.
And then when we look at level 4, we have to figure out what was happening when the source was produced. So we have to look at the 4 social studies lenses. We'll start with scientific. The invention of the compass, the astrolabe, and then the ship type of a caravel made Columbus's journeys to the New World possible. Politically, we know that Spain wants to acquire new territory at this time, so that's one of Columbus's motivators. Economically, we can link the desire for new territory to the increase in money. So if you gain more land, you're going to gain more money. And then socially or culturally, Spain wants to spread Christianity. So Columbus is really that vessel through which they're going to spread Christianity to the people of the New World.
Since this is a primary source at level 5, we have to be able to compare the world then to the world now. So we have to answer what was different then and what was the same. And then finally, no matter what kind of source you've read, you need to answer the question, how might the circumstances in which the document was created affect its content?
So then with level 5, we have to write out the influence of the 4 social studies lenses on the particular document. So you can see the example below. And then we've gone ahead and color-coded what information pertains to which particular lens. So you can see that the scientific lens that's highlighted in yellow. Take a second, pause the video, and read through the explanation.
All right, then to review, contextualizing sources is recognizing how a source is situated within the world of its origin, time, period, location, culture, etc., and explaining how the meaning of the source is shaped by those conditions.
Okay, so not so bad. Let's go on to the next one. So, and you can actually see that that was actually using one of the documents that you were supposed to be doing for the Christopher Columbus source. So if you paid attention, you can actually use this video to help you complete that first checkpoint. So back to our schedule for week 3, which runs September 13th to September 19th. So starting Wednesday to next Tuesday, you should be completing the Revolutionary America focus area. So that should definitely be done by the next time we have this weekly launch. And if you're finished, move on to the civic participation additional focus area if you're finished. If you're not interested in getting an A+, that's fine. If you would like to do the most possible work and try your hardest, this is what the additional focus areas are for. I'm not going to approve any content assessments for anything other than these two, because again, it's not relevant information for you, and I want to keep everything relevant to what we're actually working on. So if you finish these focus areas, you should also at the same time be completing checkpoint 2 of the American History Mythbusters project and starting checkpoint 3 if you're ready. So remember that the PACE chart is found in the Google Classroom on the About page. You can see the U.S. History PACE chart there. And this is exactly where I'm getting those dates. So we have tomorrow is the 12th. So if you just take a little line across here, you should be finishing the Revolutionary America, or at least starting it. And then you should be finishing up that first checkpoint. Okay, and then preparing for next week, you want to make sure that you're absolutely done with the Revolutionary America one. And again, these dates are a little flexible, but if you need help organizing and staying on pace to make sure you finish everything that you're supposed to by the end of the year to do your absolute best, if you follow this PACE chart, you will do your best, you will pass everything, and you'll get the highest grade possible. So again, that's in the Google Classroom on the About page. So that is everything I have for you for this week. If you need anything at all, please send me an email or a Hangout or a message directly in the SLP, and I will be back to speak with you next week for our next instructional launch. Have a good week.